Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know why I'm here. Thank you for checking out another one of my weekly Forex analysis. It is your boy ABK. I appreciate y'all for hopping on. And let's go ahead and just get into this analysis, So, first and foremost, you guys know how I do. I like looking at the fundamentals right before I start working on the actual technical analysis. Not that I'm a fundamental analysis trader, it's just that I like looking over the news so I could be knowing, okay, what are the possible times that I could expect a lot of unknown volatility in the market. And so today, this 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, this is what I'll be looking for in the morning. Fed Chairman Powell is going to be speaking. Same thing on Tuesday at 8 a.m. It's going to be speaking and testifying, so we'll see what that involves. Don't really see a lot of high volatility when this is going on usually. Wednesday, we do have early in the morning, 2:15 and 2:30 a.m. We do have PMI for the French part for the Euro and also for the Germany for the PMI. So we have to watch for that. And Wednesday as well, 8 a.m. Chair Powell is going to be testifying, so watch for that on Wednesday. Thursday, we have S&B monetary policy statement and for CHF, which I don't even trade CHF pairs like that. Canadian dollar at 3:30 a.m. We do have, this is really early for Canadian dollar news, but we're going to be having some speeches going on, and same thing at the same time for the GBP. So we'll watch for that. And all day on Friday is going to be the Euro Summit. So you'd want to watch for some type of irregularities with the Euro on Friday. So enough of that. Let's go on over to the charts, and I'm going to give us a fresh markup. Although, realistically speaking, I think I'm just gonna give a fresh markup on EURUSD. Why not? On the DXY. All right, so weekly time frame. First and foremost, let's go on to the weekly. See what the weekly did last week. Not really a lot of movement with last week's weekly candle. It just basically moved and stayed in place, basically speaking, for the DXY on the weekly time frame. So we could still expect some type of bullish market to happen. This weekly candle right here, prices are retraced enough for me personally speaking, but we can see possibly price continue to go and make a higher high from after breaking this little structure. But I am noticing that price is rejecting off of this zone right here. So first of all, I need to stay in drawing mode, and this needs to change to, all right, so I can see that price is rejecting this resistance right now, but this is also a area that price failed to reject off of when it came down here, right? So that's something that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be seeing what price is going to be doing in between these zones. I also want to mark up this supply zone up here. So with price rejecting off of this supply zone right now, all I can really think about, if I go onto the daily time frame, all I really want to see is after price had made this bullish push to the upside, I want to see the retracement before I start to look for another bullish US dollar, right? So push that up there. Gonna change this to my fibs. And what I'm really looking for is price to come down to 90.510. Really? That's what I'm looking for personally, for it to come down to. For it to then create another higher high. That right there. Template, look for buys in this area. And I do see that definitely price did break off of this little support that is now made it as it's broken off of this resistance at one point right here as resistance, and now it's used it as support. But I still really do want to see price come down over to this 90.500 area for it to do the retracement, because that's what I usually look for in the market. It's okay, I got that bullish push, got some rejection. Now I want to see price come down and then retest down here, continuation to the upside. Although this could be a break and retest of this support right here. If you want to do it like this, I like this better than how I had it. So yeah, you could definitely take this as, oh, well, this could be the break retest of the support and then continuation to the upside, which if it is, then hey, that's cool, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. What I'm looking for is really for price to come down and then continue to make higher highs, right? that's what I would really love to see on the DXY, long term wise. This week, I'm not really looking for buys, but I do again want to see that drop. 4-hour time frame, we can see that the DXY did give a gap to the upside to these previous highs over here. So I'm kind of just really not waiting, because I still do want to sell off. I mean, I do want to see a sell-off right here, but I really want to see price come and retrace down here before I start thinking of any type of buys. And obviously, if price does break these previous highs at 92.500, 92.510, then we could definitely see the DXY create higher highs, right? And again, the next main zone that I'm seeing price come up to would be at 94.742. And so yeah, and realistically speaking, from this whole bearish move right here, I would love, and this isn't what I'm saying is going to happen, but I would love if something like this were to happen, like if we're taking from the swing high to swing low, for price to come up to like 97.686 before, if it's going to make another lower low to the downside to possibly 83.889. But that's what I'm really looking at for long-term type of thing. It's not even set in stone or anything like that, but I'm just watching for that. But as of right now, again, I want to see price drop down, push to the upside. 1 hour time frame, yeah, as we can see, there's a gap in the market. So it's actually really interesting, because this was at 4 o'clock, and then we have this candle over here at 6 o'clock. There was no 5 o'clock candles, which is weird. But you know, the DXY usually it does this in the beginning of the market. It'll make a gap, and so we'll just see what happens. You know, I'm expecting the DXY to drop though. I do want to see that, but again, if price does break past 92.500, I expect it to make higher highs. So it's going over to arbitrage. Ooh, what is all this? First of all, that's why I did not know that. Okay, so let me get rid of all that right there. Let me hopefully take off over here. Yes, it did. Okay, so got that. Let me just make sure. Yep, that's good. Let me make sure that none of these get deleted while they're here, to be quite honest. Yeah, it does get deleted. That's interesting. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave all that right there, and I'm gonna go to DXY. This is the only one though. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna come over here. I'm gonna remove all drawings. Just take a look. I'm not gonna do any drawings on the DXY, and then I'll put them back on later. So yeah, so for DXY, I'm still, hold on, actually I have a better idea. Save. All right, cool. Come over here, remove drawings. There we go. What's going on here? I don't know why my chart is bugging. Libby. Oh, first of all, I forgot to even do this. That's funny. 1 second, guys. I forgot to send this out. There we go. I totally forgot to send that out. But yeah, DXY 1 hour time frame is called for a buy, although I don't really like how this buy looks. Even with this, like the gap in the market, that as well, that makes me not want to like look for any type of trades or any type of setups on the DXY. Although 4 hour time frame holding at this upper danger zone, that's cool and everything. But again, I don't want to really look for any type of move on the DXY at this point in time. And weekly time frame, I'm still watching for this for a very long-term position trade for that possible push to the upside. Sorry. Where's my annotation tool? Because I'll use that instead of drawing. So I would look for that bullish push. If it does make a higher high, retest, then continuation to the upside. That's what I'll be looking at for the DXY. And if it does happen like that, that'll be solid. And I'd look for a play like that for long-term buys. But until that happens, I'm still looking for a bearish DXY. So gonna clear all my drawings right here. Exit off of that. And make sure that my drawings come back. There we go. And so yeah, I'm still, like I said, unless this 92.510 gets broken to the upside, I'm looking for a downside push on the DXY. So let's go over to EURUSD, put that on blue. Take all these off before I continue. Okay, let's go on over to EURUSD. Fresh new markup, fresh new things. Okay, so let's go on over to the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly time frame, same thing as with the DXY. Didn't really have that much movement on this on the weekly time frame. Although I still am wary of this very bearish engulfing candle, and with this weekly time frame candle right here, I'm still watching for those for like more push to the downside on EURUSD. However, I do see that price is currently respecting this demand zone right here on the weekly time frame. You could also even put it with these wicks right here, but I like it where I'm seeing a whole bunch of these wicks right here instead to hold, so I'm going to be using that, or just make it look like this. Doesn't have to be super pretty, but whatever way you want to put it, I'm still looking at the EURUSD holding at this demand zone, right? And as we can see, naturally, DXY has been extremely bullish. This looks like a break and retest type of vibe to me. Let me mark up my other zones. It did fail to break this zone right here, and if it does break through this, the next zone that I'll be watching for price to come down to would be like the likes of down here. Okay, so let's go on over to the daily time frame. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much downside move happening to the DXY, to the EURUSD right now. In fact, if I am looking for any type of sells, what I would have to look for is between from that high to this low, I would need price to retrace back up to like 1.21235. I would need price to come back up to here. Gonna set up an alert. 71% possible swing sell, right? And so that's what I'm looking at for price to come up to, or for my sell, before I take price down again, right? That's what I'm really looking at for the EURUSD. I am definitely seeing that on the lower time frames, like when you go into the 4 hour, I am seeing that it is making lower lows. So you got the high, got the low, got the lower high, got the lower low, lower high possibly, and lower low. This could definitely be the lower high right here, and then it can make a lower low like ASAP. But until that happens, I'm not ready to look for sells on this type of move yet, right? And even if I go into the 1 hour time frame, not the 1 hour, and go into the 4 hour time frame, when I see that price has made this move, like although yes, it made a double top right here and then it dropped, it really gave a solid double top, to be quite honest. I'm still kind of looking at, let me go ahead and hide this real quick. I'm still kind of looking at for price. It's still holding at this 71% fib level right here, on the 4 hour time frame, like on a swing status, So I did give last week a EURUSD buy, and it did hit stop loss pretty hard, and I should have knew that it was going to be like a stop hunt, because I could still even see possibly price coming down even lower to grab some liquidity, but I do still want to see price move to the upside and come to 1.21250. And so what I'm going to do, I'm actually entering into a buy position. To be quite honest, I actually entered it quite earlier, right here. When price gapped down and made that gap to the downside, I was like, oh, this is actually perfect. This is what I've been actually wanting EURUSD to do, right? Because I was looking for buy opportunities from last week that unfortunately we got stopped out of. And I'm gonna have my stop loss right down here at 1.8282. Why not? Like, I actually like this stop loss. Actually, I'll put it a little slightly lower. Make it just a 55 pip stop loss. There you go. 1.18257. That's where I'm having my stop loss. My take profits at 1.20815. Risk to reward is a 1 to 3.63. I like those odds, and I'm taking this buy. Like I said, I'm already in this buy because I was looking at this from last week. Only thing that I'm not really crazy over is how this 4-hour bullish move came and then price really made like 100% retracement. But overall, I still do like this buy. I want that retracement to happen on EURUSD before it does indeed go bullish. So let's go on over to arbitrage real quick. Okay, got that fresh look. So on arbitrage, gap to the downside, I need this gap to close regardless. So even if I'm getting into a buy right here, for price to come up here, that would be a solid close right here, right? 17 pips, which is cool, right? It's a cool 17 pip gain, but I still want to see price move bullish. 1 hour time frame, it definitely was showing that it was bearish from last week. Price is currently at this lower danger zone, which price did come and hit, rejected off of, then it closed, opened with a gap, so still holding there. Daily time frame, still very much bearish, called for the sell right here. And the weekly time frame, it is starting to break through here. So once I started seeing some magenta candles right here, or I even start to see that price is really like starting to call for the sell, that's when I'm like, okay, it might be time for me to start looking for long time sells on the EURUSD and on the DXY long-term buys. But until that happens, don't really have anything on arbitrage that will tell me like to stay in the trade or anything like that, because I don't like the way the arbitrage looks after the market gaps like this. So I usually like wait a little bit before I get more confirmation. So with EURUSD, like I said, I'm getting into this buy. I like the buy a lot, and I'm gonna just wait and see how it plays out. It's a 55 pip stop loss, and we'll see how that plays out, right? So let's go on over to GU. This was not a trade that I took, that you're seeing right here. That is not something that I took. I just had it out there, you know? All right, so fresh new charts, fresh new everything. Weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, first of all, this candle is telling me that price might be starting to look for a way to start pushing to the downside, but GBPUSD has been extremely bullish since March of last year. Been extremely bullish. Don't really want to look for any type of I don't want to look for any type of sells on this quite yet, especially since it hasn't broken through this structure right here. That's telling me that, okay, this is still extremely bullish, right? And so we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 weeks. 6 weeks of price being over this huge supply, now considered to be demand zone, and it's been respecting it, right? Going over to the daily time frame, same thing. We see a whole lot of price just moving sideways right here on this daily time frame. But one thing that I did show last week, and I still am looking at, is price is still holding at this 61.8% fib. I could totally see price coming down and trying to grab some kind of liquidity down, and if it comes down to 1.37600, I'm getting in there and I'm looking to take this thing back high, because again, guys, there's nothing really showing me on GPUSD that's telling me that, oh, this is gonna be a bearish move, or this is gonna turn around very shortly. Nothing's really showing me that until this structure breaks. Once this structure starts to break, that's when I'll be like, okay, now I could possibly see price is gonna really like drop. But until then, I'm really looking for buys at 1.37600, and I'm looking to take it to the upside, like with all types of authority. So I'm gonna place that here. Place this as my buy box. I'm still setting up this this alert here at 1.37600 area. I'm still placing my alert there, because same thing as from the past how many weeks, I'm still looking for buys here. 71% fib buy possibility. There we go. So create that. Well, hold on, let me see right here real quick. honestly speaking, I still do want to see price come all the way up to these previous highs that it came up to, that it then crashed right after. Well, not crashed right after, but shortly after. It didn't sustain up here for very long. I want to see the price really climb back up here, because it did reject. It really, hold on, made a mistake, oops. Why is it doing that? Thank you. It did really come up here and rejected off of it very nicely with that wick. But I just have a feeling, and this is what price usually does. I really do see price coming back to fill up this wick and possibly even stop hunt to the upside, which is why I still have my eyes up here. I still have my eyes up here for liquidity, because if you come over here, price never really, it really came up and grabbed that liquidity slightly higher than this one. That's why I'm saying that I see kind of the exact same thing being happening on GU. Price just gives a random wick to the upside and then tanks. That's what I would love to see here on GPUSD. I still have that same play in my head, and so we'll see what happens. If I can get that 71% fib, that'd be great. You could be stacking if that's how you want to play this. You could stack. You could add one position here at 0.3% of your account. You could add another 1.3% here. Then down here add a 0.4% and then take it to the upside. That'd be kind of cool. But overall, I'm still looking for buys on GPUSD. So gonna be watching that. I have my alert set there. Once my alert gets set, I'm probably gonna take that buy. If it gets there, that is. Gonna go ahead and come over here and see what this is talking about. So this is the 15-minute time frame. Yuck. So weekly time frame on GPUSD. Absolutely still bullish. Daily time frame starting to cross over to the downside, but not necessarily calling the sell quite yet. No confirmations are here yet for the sell other than a break of the RSI line. So I'm still going to be watching that. I'm going to be paying attention to what GU is going to be doing on the daily time frame. 4-hour time frame, it just called for a sell, although I really don't care. I don't like how these bands look at all, so I'm not going to take this. Let me look at what the 8-hour looks like first of all. Yeah, I'm not a fan of neither of those. 1-hour time frame obviously is bearish as well, and the 30-minute time frame. Well, why am I looking at 30? I mean the 15-minute time frame, bearish as well. You know, it was calling for this buy, but then the market gapped at the open. So don't really want to. All I really want to see is buys. Really, like you could really realistically like take a buy where price is at and then have your stop loss down here, but that's super risky, so I'm not even gonna mention that. But again, guys, this is what I'm really looking for on GPUSD. I want that 1.37600 push and then pop. So gonna wait for that, be patient, and if I don't get it, I don't get it. Again, you could stack, but I'm not gonna personally stack. All right, so let's go on over to AUDUSD. Fresh new charts, fresh new everything. Okay. AUDUSD been consolidating here for weeks now. 1, 2, 3. Wait, hold on. First of all, let me just draw my zone out real quick. So broke through there. Rejected off of here. See where that's at. So that's where I rejected off of, huh? What I'm going to do is leave that there. There we go. Then spread this out a little higher too. All right, cool. So AUDUSD, it's broken through this supply. Now it's using it as demand zone, and it's pushed up to this next supply zone, but it rejected off of that with a hard wick to the upside, right? But again, same thing as with GPUSD, and the same thing with EURUSD as well. I'm not quite bearish on it yet. I still do want to see some type of liquidity grab on AUDUSD before I start thinking that it's really going to sell. And also the only way that I will start being like, okay, I'll start looking for sales now on it is if price breaks through 0.75613. If it doesn't do that, then I can't say that, oh, AUDUSD has gone bearish. Because I've been, again, just like I said, like the past week and the previous weeks, when I was trying to sell AUDUSD down here, and look what it did, it went to the upside. I don't want to try to risk that again. So I'm just gonna wait to see if this liquidity is gonna really get grabbed up here and then push to the downside, right? So that's what I'm looking at for the weekly time frame on AUDUSD. And again, extremely bullish. No reason to say that, oh, this is gonna sell. Daily time frame, I do kind of see this head and shoulders here. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. I do see this head and shoulders right here. Let me go ahead and get my trend line. I do see this possible head and shoulders right here. But naturally, I'm not gonna really take this for any type of value other than face value right now, because when I draw this fib on the daily time frame from this low to this high, price has still been respecting off of this 61.8 to 78.6 zone. It's been respecting it still, all those doing all this, and this is more of my setup than a head and shoulders is. But I do definitely see that sell possibility happening. If I was paying attention and I would have seen that head and shoulders right here, I probably would have took a risky sell right there, because this looks like to me like a stop hunt didn't push to the downside. Now let me get this better looking. There we go. So I'm gonna leave those up there just in case this does play out like a head and shoulder pattern. Again though, I still really do see this as a buy position. I mean, as a buy possibility. I do see that price really almost came down to 100%. If I would have got into a buy, I probably would have got almost stopped out. Maybe even would have been like, I'm just gonna get out the trade for now type of thing. But I haven't got stopped. I don't think that this is gonna. Sorry. I really don't think that AUDUSD is really gonna go bearish. I think this is still gonna continue to the upside, especially with these. Like, let me go look at the volume real quick. Me seeing this volume right here on this candle is just so weird. Like, just seeing this type of volume on this 4-hour candle right here that's showing that it's possibly pushed to the upside is just so weird to me. And especially right before the market closes, that's what's like giving me another like, whose man's is this type of thing, you know? So what I really want to do, if I could have, I would have been happy to get into this entry, because as you can see, that's where my 71% fib entry usually is at as is. So that didn't happen, but I still want to see this buy to the upside on AU. Even if it's gonna go even higher than that, I definitely feel the vibe of AU's going long term to these highs as well. If I could possibly get any time where price will come back to give me that entry, I would. And my stop loss is gonna be a high one. It's gonna be like 155 pips for a stop loss, but I definitely still do see AUDUSD pushing to the upside. It is unfortunately about like what, 15-20 pips away from my entry. 25 pips away from where I would have wanted to enter if I was paying attention. But you know, I could wait, or I could just like start stacking positions, add 0.3 here, add 0.6 here, and then let it ride or something like that. But AUDUSD, although I do see this head and shoulders, I do not like playing head and shoulders patterns on higher time frames when price is already trending one way. That it doesn't really add up to me, you know. So gonna hide these. Definitely gonna find a way to make use of them, but not going to really look for sells on this as either, you know. So hide, and then we'll see what AUD does. Like I said though, if I do get a chance for a price to come back down to my entry at 0.77056, I'll get in. So there's that on AUDUSD. GBPAUD. So I'm not gonna change this setup because it's literally the same thing as it has been. I'm just gonna speak over it right now. Daily time frame, price pushed to the downside. Price retrace came to the 71% right here, even came up to the 78.6 and dropped, and it's in a pendant. And price has been in a downtrend on the weekly time frame for so long that I'm just waiting for a price to either break out to the upside or to the downside of this pendant, and then that's what I'll be really looking for a trade. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that though. 4-hour time frame, same thing, guys. Same thing as I didn't get into this setup because I didn't see it, or I wasn't paying attention really to it. But it's the same thing, right? Price pushed up, hit 78.6 fib, went a little higher, then rejected, dropped, and I still expect this to continue dropping. I do see that it did gap up to the upside, but I do expect this to come back, fill this gap up, and continue falling. It's already almost there. The filled gap would be at 1.79100, but I mean, honestly speaking, even from looking at this for buys, this could have possibly been a buy play right here, because let's just go ahead and hide this off. Let's go ahead and hide that off. From this low, where price almost came to that trend line, to the high, price came to the 71% fib, wicked it, and then pushed to the upside. But the only thing about me, I'm looking for sells. So I'm not going to be looking for buy position on this. I'd only be like, oh, that's something I got to watch out for, type of thing, you know. But I'm looking for sells. It's been still respecting that. At this point in time, all I'm waiting for is for a breakout on either side before I look for a trade on GA. Either I get the breakout here, retest, or I get the breakout here, retest, boom. So that's what I'm really waiting for on GA. Not going to get into anything right now. It's just been pretty choppy, basically, but I'm more looking for sells than anything. Going over to arbitrage, that 15-minute time frame, you see that gap is kind of respecting here, but I don't like trading off of gaps right when the market opens like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my sweet time on GBPAUD. Yeah, again, 30-minute time frame doesn't look great, although I don't really trade off of that. 1-hour time frame called for the sell last week, and then it kind of looks like now it's probably going to hold under here and continue selling. 4-hour time frame looked like price, but then it opened up with that this just a couple minutes ago or a couple hours ago. Daily time frame, price definitely was rejecting off of this upper danger zone. I definitely like to sell for this. So again, guys, what I'm really going to, oh yeah, the weekly rejected too. Yeah, I still want to see sells. So again, guys, I'm just waiting for one of these to happen on GA. I'm waiting for the breakout on either side, wait for that retest, and I'll look to get in right there. But I am definitely way more bearish than bullish. Okay, so I'm going to be watching for GBPAUD. Let's go on to EURAUD. EURAUD, kind of the same thing. Let me go ahead and remove all those. Let me see the question real quick. At GJ, I will definitely be taking a look at GJ. GJ is on my watch list. I'll be definitely taking a look at that. Let me get rid of volume real quick. Okay, EURAUD. Same shit, different day. Extremely bearish. EURAUD. Price has came down again and respected these lows. I'm gonna go ahead and place some lines over here. This demand zone, big demand zone on EURAUD. As you can see right here, used it as a demand, used it as demand, used it as demand as well. Could definitely possibly see price rejecting off of here and going to the upside, but nothing on this weekly time frame, no candlestick patterns or anything, is telling me that yes, price is going to turn around. Do see kind of a doji candle right here, but that shows indecision in the market, according to me at least. Some people say that that's decision for a reversal. That could be indecision in the market though. Daily time frame, I do like this candle right here. That's showing that there could be possible weakness in the market. But then when I see these two candles right next to it, it cancels out. It's just like, okay, what are you really gonna do? But me personally speaking, all I see is this continuing to the downside. I don't really see any hope in it. 4-hour time frame. Dang, if I was paying attention, I could have got us to a good sell. So from off of this murderous engulfing candle right here, the retracement 71%. I'm still looking for sells here. I'm really still looking for sells here. I'd be actually kind of surprised if EURAUD goes bullish. But if it does, then hey, I cannot I mean, I never try to act like I'm always correct in the market, because these markets can humble you real quick. But my probability of this staying bearish, I think it's pretty high, personally speaking. So I can't get in because it's already past my entry. If it could come back up to 1.54100, absolutely, I might end up taking that sell. Get out of here. So price pushed up. I would have loved for it to come to 1.54100. If it does, I might get into that sell, and just continue taking it to the downside. That's all I got for EURAUD. It's been extremely trendy. Like, can't really say that, I'm going to go bullish on it. It's going over to arbitrage. 1 week, extremely bearish. Daily time frame, bearish, and it hasn't called for that sell yet. It just looks like it's going to keep falling for me personally. No confirmations on the buy yet. 4 hour time frame, because of the gap, I feel like that's the reason why it's over the RSI line. Well, that is the reason, but I don't think that it's going to maintain over it. And if it does, then hey, that could be a possible sign for it to go bullish. But again, I am way more bearish than I am bullish on it. 1 hour time frame, don't really care for it, especially since it's like, even with the gap, it's rejecting off of the upper danger zone. Yeah, no thank you. And so yeah, I'm just extremely bearish on EURAUD, no matter until I see the likes of like 1.54750 to be really broken, and price like staying above that level for a day or two. I can't be bullish on it, because it's just, again, it's extremely bearish. The most that we've seen a bullish market in this is back over here in February 20, like in late February, where price made this bullish push, and it's just been choppy and dropping ever since. So not really looking for any buys on this quite yet, at least, right? I'm not going to be watching it because my entry's missed, but hey, if it does, like I said, if it does come back up to here, I'm going to actually give my alert a ding here. 71% fit possibility. That's fine. And then, so we'll see how that looks. Go ahead and watch it, but I'm not really crazy over it. EURGBP. Man, if I would have gotten into this trade, it would have took a nice L, but I didn't, so that's good. But anyways, I'm not gonna give a fresh markup on this, because I'm just gonna erase all this stuff. There we go. Confirmation. All right. Weekly time frame. Weekly buy box. Price is still respecting this weekly buy box that I have here. Let me even see if the fib that I drew is still here. Yep, it is. Now, do you guys see why I like this fib so much, or why I use it so much? Because no matter what time frame it is, it still would work. Like, this is still holding at this buy area. If I would have took a buy over here on EURGBP, then I'd be up right now. But I'm not looking for that still, because it's still showing me that it's extremely bearish. But I do see this possibility for a buy. But I mean, if we look on a monthly time frame, what can we really see? We can see. Let me delete all this now. What we can really see on here is that price is just consolidating. On the weekly time frame, price is really just consolidating. It's just going up, down, up, down. It was really a holding well at these, and then we saw a liquidity grab right there. But all I really see on this is price is just consolidating. Now, again, it could really hold at this area. It could really hold here as my 78.6, but it's just like, I don't know. I really don't care for it. I really don't care for this like trade, regardless still, because on the monthly time frame, it just looks like it's going to continue falling. Like, personally speaking, this just looks like, oh, I'm going to keep falling, you know. So again, I'm just going to be really patient and waiting for EURGBP, because this does not look to me like, oh, this is gonna stop and now it's gonna start pushing to the upside. Daily time frame, just have a whole bunch of consolidation here. I'd want to see probably like a drop, then a pop, retest, then a continuation to the upside for me to look for any buy opportunities on EG. Right now I'm not seeing them though. On this 4-hour time frame, to be quite honest with you, what I probably would see is like from this swing high to this swing low. I don't really care for that one. I like this one better. I still would want to see price come up to like what, 0.86090 or something. Then I'll probably start looking for some sells on EURGBP. But other than that, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really interested. Why am I doing that? I'm not really interested in any type of sells on EG. I mean, any type of buys on EG. I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert right here. Although I really doubt that price is gonna get there. If it does, then I'll probably even doubt the sell, to be quite honest with you. But I'm just gonna go ahead and set this fib right here. Sell entry possibility. And then we'll see what's up with that. Let's go on over to arbitrage. I'm pretty sure it's giving some good buys on the lower time frames. 30-minute, 1 hour buys. Yep, buy right there. 4-hour time frame. This looks ugly. The band is contracting, so we would have to look for a breakout from one side regardless. But this daily time frame, again, this is not calling for any type of buys. Hasn't called for a buy in a while. Last one was back in 2020. So yeah, guys, I'm not really looking for buys on EG. Weekly time frame, extremely bearish, under the RSI line. Yeah. Monthly, after months of rejecting off of that upper danger zone, finally broke out. Would want to retest. A retest of 0.88241 would be solid. So let's see where that 0.822. Oh, that is. Wait, 0.88030. Oh, that'd be solid if I can get. Hold on, no, never mind. I was reading that wrong. No, yeah, it was 0.88100. That would be really solid for a retest. So yeah, guys, I'm liking this. Because on the monthly, this thing looks like it's about to start calling for a sell very shortly. We still have 9 days left for the month, but still. EURGBP not looking good for the buy. Alright, so let's go on over. Just gonna watch that as well. EURNZD, the king of the T's. Loki still want to give you guys a sell, to be quite honest with you. But price hasn't broken out of this zone yet, which is, I mean, I already had it drawn out that I'd rather want to see this breakout retest continuation. But let's just go ahead and get a new fresh markup on here. Okay, weekly time frame. Dang, this weekly right here gave this long wick to the downside right here, then push back up. Price has been respecting at this demand zone ever since, but I'm still iffy about it. I'm extremely iffy about it, to be quite honest with you. If I can get a hold of it, that'd be great. Let me see. There we go. Just take the whole thing off. So yeah, last week price came and rejected off of 1.6500, which a lot of people I think are going to be looking for buys here. A lot of retail traders, especially with those who think about quarters theory, that oh, if price comes to 1.6500, like a whole number or a quarter number, that price is going to keep going to the upside. So there's going to be a lot of people looking for buys here. Me personally, no. I ain't going to do it because there is way too many. There's way too much rejections off of this right here that would make me even feel comfortable trying to buy off of this, you know. If I get a breakout, then absolutely, but no, I'm not really looking for any type of buys here. If I were to sell right now, I kind of would be not looking for sells. No, if I were to sell, let me be quite honest, if I were looking for sells, just because I see this possible. Oh no, never mind. I already hit 61%. I still could see it possibly coming to the 1.64519. I would just, if I was looking for sells, I would personally sell this right now. I'm expecting this to make lower lows, to be quite honest. It's been trending to the downside. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be going to the downside regardless, regardless of what I think right now. And even if I turn this around, then you will see that it's in my general area. Let me put this lower right here, it's fine. You just see that it's in my general area that I'll be looking for sells at regardless, but I would most likely, like, I don't know, I just don't really care to try to sell it right now, especially with how low it is, but all I see is sells. I don't see any buys except for off of that weekly big wick, but other than that, all I really see is it's still continuing to drop. So take this trade at your own, at your own risk, you know? If I were to trade it, I'd probably just have my stop loss, realistically speaking, above these previous highs, and I'd just wait for price to do whatever it wants to do. Even if I get wicked out and then price drops some more, I'll be okay with that. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this trade. I'm gonna get into EN and I'll see what it do. I'm going into arbitrage. I see the 1 month is barely 9 more days, and then it'll probably call for a sell. Weekly time frame, extremely bearish. Daily time frame is starting to look like it might buy, which is why I said if it breaks these highs, that's when I'll probably most likely just get out. Like if it breaks these highs up here at 1.67030, I'll probably get out of EN buys. The 4 hour time frame, price rejected off of the upper danger zone multiple times, so I'm still expecting this to drop. 1 hour time frame, starting to call it called for a still, but this thing is confused because it's still above the RSI line, but it has been respecting the upper danger zone in the past 1-2 candles, so on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm definitely just gonna watch what EURNZD does, but I do like to sell. I'm just gonna go ahead and set this like, oh, tell me when to get out, and I might get out of my sell a little early, and then I'll just look for another short opportunity. So create, continue anyway, and so yeah, that's for EURNZD. Okay, I'm gonna go on over to GBPJPY. All right, gonna show y'all some sauce on this one. So first of all, get rid of that. Glad I didn't take that trade. I would have got stopped out. Yeah, I would have got stopped out. Yow. All right. Whoa, look like my buy stop from when this happened finally got stopped at a break even, although I was way out of that trade. GBPJPY, again guys, this is the same thing as like with all the other GB pairs. It's been extremely bullish. Can't really say that, oh, from this just 1 week of it being bearish, that, oh, it's gonna start selling now, oh, we gotta start looking for sales. No, I can't do that. I do notice that price definitely did almost come up to this zone, but it still has it, and I still wanted to come up and hit this and grab some liquidity. Even if it's above 156.759, I still wanted to come up and like at least hit this, let alone grab liquidity. So I still can't be bearish on this. There's no, I mean, if you want to sell it, by all means, go ahead. You are your own person, but this, for me personally, I actually want to look for more buys. Now, the only thing that I don't care for about this is that if this drops, most likely GPUSD would drop. But if I'm looking for trades on a daily time frame, what I'll be looking for is for price to come up to come down to 148.9.19 and then make that bullish push. You know, for that extension 154.570, grab that, then drop. That would be actually super cash money. And yeah, same thing. That's what I see. Same thing on the 4 hour time frame. I mean, this play could possibly happen where price is just like, oh, where it's at right now, you can grab the 71% fib from this 4 hour swing to the upside, which isn't terrible. You'd have I mean, if you would have caught it right here, it would have been better. But the risk to reward, if I would have gotten into this trade, I would have looked for an entry down at 150.283. My stop loss would have been right here, which is literally where my entry is at for the daily swing, and my take profit again would probably be like right here or right here. Now the risk reward is not terrible at all. The risk reward for if you're taking it to the 38.2, I mean to the 61.8 extension, that's literally like basically a 1 to 4. Like that's not bad risk reward at all. Even if you were to trade like that at 5%, that's still not a bad trade. But you know, it's just like, again, I would rather wait for the daily move to get me this so that I could have even better risk reward. Because now look, same risk reward as what I had, but now if I push this up higher, let's just say I want to take it to the 38.2 extension, and then I put my stop loss down here. Well, it's not better risk reward, but it's just better pricing in my opinion. I probably would have like 0 drawdown if price came all the way down here and then pushed to the upside. So this is what I'm going to be looking for GJ. Now again, the other play could be what it is. What the other play from this low to this high, that could be the play, but I'm not looking for that. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna set my alert for down here on GJ. And again, if that does actually play out, then probably my GU buy limit won't be the play, but we'll still see what happens, you know? So, oops. 71% fib. Buy possibility. There we go. Create. And so that is for GBPJPY. That's a buy limit that I have set up, or something that I'm going to be watching for. So got blue on here. All right, let's go talk about some tacos. I should have probably got into this trade. Played myself. No, not really though, because I still do kind of still think. Again, with the DXY, let me just actually compare. DXY. Settings. I don't want you as a line, I want you as bars. Cool. Okay, as we can see, price, the USD Mexican and the DXY doesn't really correlate that well, right? It doesn't really correlate that well at all. That's something that I've began to notice. Because look, I mean, it did make this bullish, when the DXY was making this bullish push, the tacos made a super bullish push. It was making the downward push, the tacos were making extra super bearish push. So it does kind of correlate in one way or another, but I still am not cool. I'm not 100% with trying to buy this right now. That's why I said I'm going to wait. I could still see possibly even 1.96 getting hit. But again, I'm just going to be patient and wait for see what the DXY is going to do, because I don't want the DXY to just start going bearish and then I'm like, oh well, I'm going to go ahead and buy USD Mexican. No, they correlate a little bit, not too much, but they correlate just enough for me to not be comfortable trying to buy this as I'm expecting the DXY to sell, you know? So although yes, this is a very good type of trade setup, even the sell was very juicy to grab, I'm going to go ahead and be patient on USD Mexican. Even if you go into the daily time frame, let me go and look at last week's candlestick. Let me actually hide that because I can't see it well. It looks like it's this looks like it's not even a hangman, because it still has a wick to the upside, you know? So I'm still really watching to see what this is going to do. Personally speaking, I'm going to just wait. I'm not going to get into it. Although if I would have, I'd be up nicely, but not nice enough that my stop loss would be at break even. So I'm going to just wait on Mr. Tacos. If I go on over to arbitrage, see if it gives me any setups. Nope. 4-hour time frame. Might be calling for a buy, but I'm not here for it. Not quite yet, at least. Daily time frame looking like it might want to sell. If it respects off of this RSI line, then I mean the upper danger zone, then yes, I would be looking for some good sells on that. Weekly time frame, oh yeah, it's rejecting off of this. Yeah guys, lower low. I'm still looking for lower low, possibly on USD Mexican aka tacos. Could possibly make that lower low, but who knows? We'll see what happens, right? So USD Mexican, I'll put it on my watch. I'll put it on blue. Not really. I'll put it on yellow because I'm not really watching it, but I am I'm observant of it. That's the word I should have used. All right, let's go look at Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold. So last week came down, stopped us out, came back up, looking pretty bullish to me. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, this is what I expected that happened. I didn't notice that then. I am noticing that now though. But, you know, gold, regardless, if you got into this entry right here, I suggest that you hold it because I do still think that price can go bullish. But now what we're seeing here, let me get rid of these fibs and all that, is right now price is still holding at this now support, but before was resistance. It's holding at this support right here, and it did kind of reject off of this trend line area. Now, although it did break through that, and it's still holding, like, even if I push this to the upside, even though I could still see that it possibly did hold at this 1 hour or whatever time frame you want to say resistance, I still highly think that this is going to be the play right here. Still think this. Push to the downside. Price pushes up to 1761 or 1767 is where I'm going to get my entry at. Then a continuation to the downside. I still feel that way, even if this trend line breaks. Because remember, this is a daily trend line. Let me even fix this trend line because it doesn't even look like it's straight. For all I know. There we go. Getting some breaking damage right here. It looks like it's starting to break off. So again, I'm still bullish on it. Again, if you have that position down here at 1734, hold it. I still think it's gonna go bullish. And if it doesn't, you know, then it is what it is. But I don't think this is ready to drop quite yet. So still have my alert here. Still have my alerts chilling. Been chilling there for like the past how many weeks now? It's still the same setup for me on gold. Nothing's changed. Let me delete all this. 1 hour time frame. Retesting this RSI line. I would love for it to respect this mean line. Continue to the upside. Absolutely. Rejecting off of the upper danger zone. If you respect that, continue to the upside. Absolutely. Daily time frame not there yet, but if price comes up here, that's exactly where it lines up with my fibs. I want to take that sell right there. So yeah, it could literally reject off of here though. The mean line for the weekly, if that holds, then that could definitely look to be dropping on gold. So again, just keep my eye on it. Nothing really too crazy. S&P US indices. I'm still holding this buy, can't you see? No, I'm just playing. But on some serious stuff though, I still do expect, I am still expecting S&P to make higher highs. That's all it has been doing. Remember when it came down here, 71%, even came to 78.6, popped up, made a higher high. Yeah, I still expect that to still happen regardless. A lot of people are saying that, oh, we can see the indices drop. And hey, if you are one of those people, absolutely. Like, stick to your analysis, stick to your bias. Do not let my opinion cloud your judgment. But I am not seeing any type of sells on here yet. Even though on the 4 hour, we can see that, yes, it is a little choppy, but it's making higher highs on the weekly and the daily time frame. So for you to say that, oh, this could sell, it's kind of premature. Now, if you're talking about like the likes of Dow Jones, or well, even Dow Jones, even worse. Dow Jones is even the worst trying to show that example. Like if anything, Dow Jones looks like a sweet opportunity to buy right here. 71% fib from this previous high that it made. And it's making higher highs. So again, for me to say that, oh, this is just gonna drop, that's kind of hard for me to do. NASDAQ, finally, 1 second, baby. NASDAQ, I'm not really in this trade anymore. I got out of it, to be quite honest, but I still have the same bias that is gonna make higher highs. So I'm gonna be watching for that. Now let me pause this real quick. What's going on? They wanna go pick it up right now? Well, they're gonna have to wait for me to do this then. So give me like 10 more minutes. Babe, I gotta do this. Okay. So yeah, 10-15 more minutes. That'll be fine. If you want, you can go and head over there.
I can't help you lift the dresser.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let me continue. So NASDAQ. Okay, yes, NASDAQ. I still feel the same thing. Like it could definitely hit the 11,000. Like 11,000 down over here. I do see that possibly happening, but not in the long term. I still expect this to continue going bullish. Same thing as with S&P and all that. Came over to 71%, even went down to 78.6 fib, popped up. I can see a possible retracement right here. Let's just do it from this low to this high. I didn't want to do it on the 4 hour. And then, so yeah, it even missed over here slightly, so I could still see 12,579.2 being hit, and then looking for another possible bullish push. So yeah, like I said, this, well, I'm not even in that anymore. Let's see what S&P looks like. Let me see over here. I will still hold this position. Yeah, I'll still definitely hold this for SPX 500. And US 30. I mean, again, guys, it's just extremely bullish. It's making higher highs. I don't know why. I don't know why I would try to look for sells when something's making higher highs, unless it shows me on the higher time frame that yes, I'm done making higher highs now. Let's go and drop like heavily, you know. So that's for the US indices. Going over to some cryptocurrency. Oh man, I did not know that Bitcoin really felt like that. I mean, that sell box, I did mention it. That's crazy how it dropped like that. But anyways, just go look at Bitcoin. Remove all drawings. Weekly time frame. Weekly time frame looking bullish to me. Not seeing any type of like, oh, price is going to turn around type of thing yet. So going over to the daily time frame, I do see that price is respecting this now demand zone. Didn't necessarily do much last week except for consolidated most of it, but it did make bullish. It did make highs. I mean, just off of this high, from this low right here to this high, and then the retracement, price did come to the 78.6. Again, I didn't pay attention to none of that on Bitcoin during the weekend. Otherwise, I would have gotten possible entries on it. But yeah, guys, I still 64,000. I like this play right here. Push to the upside. Retest 64K. Coming soon to a theater near you. But yeah, that's what I'm really looking at for Bitcoin. Again, if I would have been paying attention during the weekend, I could have possibly got that. But I wasn't. So there's that. Oh, before I continue, let me put this on green. Green. Blue on NASDAQ. Bitcoin. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get this entry right here. It would have been solid, but I'm looking for this to continue making the higher highs. And again, extremely bullish. There's absolutely no reason why I would be looking for sells here quite yet. There's no signs that have told me that I'm looking for sells. If you are looking to get into a Bitcoin buy, I do not suggest it until possibly, if this is what price is going to do right now, come down to 56,156. That's where I'll look for a buy possibly. But I'm not looking for buys on Bitcoin right now. I mean, I'm looking for it to go bullish for sure, but my entry is nowhere to be found. Ripple. I'm still holding this trade, and same thing with Ripple. If I was paying attention, really, from this bullish move where price broke this previous high, this bullish move, look where price all came in respected, then pushed up 78.6 fib right there. Like when price broke this high right here, boom, retest, continuation to the upside. So that's, again, my entry isn't anywhere near here as of now, and I'm still holding the buy on Ripple. Batcoin, don't even want to talk about that. Litecoin has been extremely annoying, so I'm still holding this trade overall, but I could definitely be wrong on this, and it could possibly hit my stop loss. But we'll see how that happens. Like I said, I'm still definitely bullish on this, you know. And Ethereum, I'll go look at arbitrage after all that. Same thing with Ethereum, it's just been annoying me, but I still do want to see it make all-time highs at 2,420. So I'm still holding these biases because price has just been, although it was trying to make higher highs right here, it's just been really choppy at this zone, but I'm still holding it. Still gonna hold it. Not gonna change my bias on it. Let me go on Bitcoin and look at the higher time. I mean, not the higher time frames necessarily, because I know that they're all bullish. Let me go on to the 4 hour. 4 hour is holding right under that RSI line. It could possibly drop, y'all. It could definitely possibly start to drop. 1 hour time frame, it called for this drop right here. Dropped nicely. I want to see how the candle closes, to be quite honest. 45 more minutes, so I won't be on here when that happens. Ripple starting to call for a sell right here, but it could be going for a buy. It's over it, but I'm looking at this magenta candle and be like, oh, that's bearish pressure coming through. So we'll see what that does. 4 hour time frame, very bullish. Daily time frame, after that sell called, it might be calling for a buy today, especially from how this looks, but it's holding at the upper danger zone, so you want to watch out for that on Ripple. Litecoin starting to call for a sell on the daily. Dang, this daily candle has really just been consolidating, but it might really drop, man. 4 hour time frame, calling for that sell. Yeah, Litecoin might be looking for the sell for real. This might be a 15-minute buy call right here, to be quite honest with you, but not even. It's a sell. Yeah, I'm not liking how Litecoin looking either, but I'm still going to be holding that. And if I take the loss, it is what it is. I know that arbitrage gave me the warning. And let's look at Ethereum. Daily time frame should be still very much bullish. Yeah, still over that, so I'm still holding that buy. 4 hour time frame, it is starting to call for the sell, but it has 3 hours and 45 minutes left. 1 hour time frame, still very much bearish, but that's the 1 hour. And 30 minutes might be rejecting off of here for a buy position. So I'm still holding these buys on the cryptos. I'm still expecting a lot of them to I'm still expecting Ethereum to go and make an all-time high. I'm still expecting Bitcoin to hit 64,000. Litecoin is being very questionable, but on technical analysis wise, I am still expecting it to make a higher high from this previous high that it made back in February. So I'm just going to be patient, just going to wait for that. But other than that, is there any other questions before I head off of here? Any questions, comments, or concerns? Nope, no questions. Alright guys, alright, well thank you for hopping on to my weekly analysis. I do appreciate it. I will be posting up the recording very shortly with the timestamps, and I hope everybody has a great day. Let's make some money this week.